Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Hunt the Guitar Podcast. Today I'm going to show you how I like to use the Tron by Keeley Electronics. I've had this thing for a couple months, and every time I post a picture of it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, someone always asks, hey, do you actually use that thing? It seems like it's pretty weird. I don't know how I would use it. Yes, I absolutely use it, and I use it often. I like to use it for church a lot, and I'll use it in sections where, the worship pastor is quietly playing and maybe he's leading a prayer, or people are reflecting, or they're doing communion, or people are, just sitting around waiting for the service to start, and they don't want to hear some big, nasty, fuzzy lead over whatever's going on. So I throw on the Tron, I throw on some delays, and I just, get kind of ambient and make some noise. So right now I've got the Flashback 2 loaded with a loop that I'm going to play over so I can show you what it sounds like when I'm playing with this thing. I'm going to sweeten it up with some delay and reverb. So that's really what I use it for. It kind of breaks things up. It gives me this glitchy, jumping around sort of tonality. It basically does things that, the keyboardist could do. And often I'm leaning on this thing to make pad sounds and keyboard parts when we don't have a keyboardist on the team. I'll explore kind of the other settings of the step filter here. There's different sensor settings and, the rate and whatnot. But what's really important is that there's a waveform shape setting. So let's check that out. This is the waveform where the wave rises and then falls steeply. Turn off the delay and reverb. And here, it rises steeply and then falls gradually. Here's the X waveform I was using earlier, which I believe is two different waveforms fighting each other at different speeds. I think there's an auto sense thing going on here that controls the speed of one of them, which allows you to get those glitched out sounds that I was playing earlier. That's the one I like just because it feels like it gets so random. And here's more of a traditional, equal sine wave sort of thing. It's kind of like a triangle, but this equal rising and falling on each side. Let's see how that sounds with a loop. Let's throw some dirt in there. also like to use the envelope phaser setting on here. It's a ton of fun. It's easy to get really funky with it real quick. But you can also use it in a more subtle, more ambient sort of way. So I'll show off using that right now with that same loop. Are you bored of that loop yet? So obviously it's quite a bit funkier than the step filter is, and doesn't disappear into the mix as much and give you that pad sound or kind of like wall of ambience. But it's a ton of fun to have around, and it's great to have just quick access to it through that little switch on the pedal. There's also a flanger setting on here, which is like an auto flanger. I honestly don't use that very much, but it sounds really lush and cool. I'll play with that in a second here. And there's some dip switches inside. If you flick the dip switch up, you get access to a more traditional envelope filter and a more traditional phaser and flanger. So that's fun to mess with. And also there's a dip switch for a vintage and modern setting. From what I understand, the vintage setting just rolls off some of the highs, where the modern setting gives you a full EQ range. I forget what I have mine set to right now. It's been a while since I opened it. But I kind of wish I had access to that auto filter without having to open it. But it's there, and you can get it if you really need it. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll just do some knob tweaking for now to play this out. How about that?